you go for this BKB timing, you have a position 3 that can help you kind of initiate and take towers a little bit. But they go Doom. They're trying to play this late game route, which I don't know if it'll work.
This is the best kind of lineup for you to play when everyone is in the boot camp. Oh, Febby.
Febby. That's not a boundary you want to cross, my guy. First blood given over to Excellent. They're eyeing up your way. Chrono's available. Carlo's thinking about stepping in as well. What a perfect placement of the Chrono, making sure the Hoodwinks unable to step in to try and protect the Lina.
I believe we are going to see a lot of early Supernova right now.
Bottom lane, Box in trouble. Excellent. Another beautiful rotation from the Ember, and all of this continuing to be set up. YoungGod is going to be in trouble top lane. Xiaoyu charging up the first epicenter. And of course, they've got the percent damage coming out from the Spirit Siphon as well. So YoungGod's going to have to rely on the toss away with Burrow up in a couple of seconds. Oh no, they just missed the bushwhack. Roger needs to tank the tower. Can he get the aggro away? He cannot, but alright. He wants to just pump the ultimate and bring down Carlo, but a recognition of the TP out gets him to safeties. Meanwhile, mid, Febby. Nice decrep. Slide will be up in a couple of seconds. Bonbon's either going to fly on over and force to drop the Supernova because of this issue in the Nether Ward.
Bottom side, Ares.
Oh, Chrono MKS, look at that! Oh, the premature tip as well from the Void, recognizing over the tree line means that Xiaoyu can get the TP out! They just find the stun connection, and this is a huge kill. They even have to fuse the Doom for it a little bit. It's not as worth for Bok, unfortunately. They probably would have got the kill without it, but nonetheless, you take away Xiaoyu's life.
Oh, look at them, they're going. They know that there's no Doom. This is such a big information for RG to abuse right now.
Alright, Silent. Got one Remnant. An early use of the Sun Ray. Not been able to follow this up with the Chrono. MKS is going to go for it. Guess who it's on? To the Lina. Supernova drop to the northern side. So Yahweh is going to try and pop the BK and bring down the egg. And he's able to do so. That was the blink reveal from YoungGod as well. So straight to the backline. Finds Excellent. A huge fight for TNC, even though they're up against the ultimates. Just charging up the higher ground, but he's got BKB. You don't want to use everything onto the Doom. That's not an easy kill at all. Gonna try and hold him back and towards the side. YoungGod jumps in, follow up with the Doom as well. Bok just onto the Faceless Void, but they have no follow-up damage until Febby is able to find the live train from and far and instantly RSG. Tucking their tails in between their legs, or Xiaoyu! No! A Burrow off the mark. You always had an opportunity to charge up the BKB, and now they really want to take the fight. Into Radiant's territory they go. There's another core cut down by the burst. Excellent. Can he turn this one around? They know they used a lot. A BKB only committing onto Febby. He's still got one more Remnant to be able to utilize here. Up to the higher ground is considering, but Carlo is already in prime position to be able to set up. And with the LSA follow-up, Your Way doesn't even need it. The right clicks for good measure as TNC.
With Exor, they could. Without Exor, oh, it's looking very risky.
Dylan putting his body on the line, making space. Xiaoyu's got the follow-up. BKB still an opportunity, gets it up before the Chrono, so the Sunray has a non-factor with bringing down YoungGod, and once again, it's a disastrous fight for RSG. As Silan, everything is on his back to turn this team fight around, but with no remnants to retreat away, they should be able to catch out the Ember in the day is the Doom. They pulled them across the map, so Yolway and Febby actually have a little bit cautious now. They're instantly beelining to the area, but they are very far away. So maybe Silan might be able to get the Pugna with the follow-up from Xiaoyu. But Yolway just rips apart Roger, so not even a 1-for-1. As Yolway now with the BKB pop, but the rest of the reinforcements have arrived. And RSG, they cannot stick around to try and claim the Aegis.
Sure. Look at Tiny, he's not even whacking the tower. He knows that as long as
they see Excellent onto the higher ground. Great placement of the Observer Ward. And meanwhile, Xiaoyu, he wanted to start the fight, but it was TNC utilizing the vision to perfection. Top lane. Again? No, not the goddamn Mask of Madness. He can't try and time walk away. They're going to be perfect with their chain control.
And because of how they itemize so far, it feels like when they're supposed to be strongest, And when they're supposed to overwhelm the enemy, they have a bunch of defensive items.
And they're trying to start the fight pre-Faceless Void. So there's no follow with the Burrow Strike, and meanwhile, Young God just jumps in. Excellent brought down once again, but here's the Chrono off to the side. The Age is still in the hands of the Lena for another 15 seconds. They're gonna wait it out. Just want to take care of her first life and set up for the second as Xiaoyu still got the epicenter. Yowei's in trouble. A beautiful double Burrow Strike clipping Young God towards the backline as RSG. They found the angle, the opportunity, and they pounce instantly as Excellent even catches another out as well. The TPing Hoodwink will not escape as RSG. Yes, it cost them a couple of buybacks, but you finally stem a little bit of the momentum. Smoke towards Radiant Secret Shop. Roger's gonna run straight into Carlo. Towards the backline though, Young God, they're onto the Phoenix, so Xiao Babon has to drop down the Supernova along with the Chronosphere follow-up. They need a way to be able to cancel the Lena right clicks. The bashes! What is that luck? There's no way RNG God is on their side. RSG! They dodge the bullet, and in fine fashion they do so.
Oh man, it's all
100%.
about executing teamfight.
You got to get your Doom off though on Bok. We've haven't really seen it a couple times. Mid lane, they're on the Lena once again. They've got the Chrono, this time with the Sunray Fall, with 3 heroes caught out. How do RSG continue to take team fights like this? Another Sunray inside the egg means that Dire will burn all to a crisp as the corpses littering the ground, and RSG can now pillage the base. Oh, they're gonna see Carlo. Not the best target to jump. Xiaoyu looking to force reactions though. If they can get some early items out. Oh, Roger! A couple of hits from Young God, almost enough to get the kill. They'll trade it for a 1-for-1. Sillen quickly in and out, making sure there's no opportunity for Bok to land the Doom. Has ages. Like, what is the game plan from TNC with this defense? Okay, they're just gonna look to jump in. Who cares about the first life? MKS trying to stand his ground with the help of the Sunrays, doing a lot of damage to Young God that might just tick out. Oh my lord, Xiao Bonbon's able to do it all by his lonesome self. They're shipping over towards the backline without the Lena to bring down the egg. They have to stand there and watch at a safe distance as the buyback starting to rain in. But MKS, that's where it can pounce. A Chrono finding the Tiny, a dieback for Young God. And now it's all up to Yowei to turn this fight back in their favor. It's a double back. MKS, a time walk back inside the base. He wants to take the team fight. You gotta respect Yowei though. This Lena really starting to ramp up the damage. The Halberd not being able to prevent the right click, but Roger still standing his ground to the best of the possibilities. Xiaoyu, a whiff of the Burrow Strike. 3 will drop on TNC, but Yowei still reigns supreme. Another jump there from the Lena. They found the Lena. Yowei's that last-ditch attempt to hold out this game one. They need all the damage she can provide. She's got to buy back at least. But, oh, it's just tricky now. Oh, Xiaoyu might end up dropping. Nice bushwhack landing. An instant buyback. Lena's going to rejoin the world of the living as well.
RSG, yeah, seems like they are looking just end.
There's 4 heroes though. MKS! Oh no, he blinked directly into the middle. Is going to try and get the BKB, but now with the Exo to go through along with all the bashes they would ever need. Lena's gone, and the hopes and dreams of TNC finding an angle back into this game will join her in the grave as RSG continue with their dominant run. They'll take game 1, and Arthur, what a comeback and what a way to kick off our night.
And if you don't do that, Medusa is gonna outfarm the Tiny and eventually carry the game. Medusa is not like a completely free Medusa game as well, because I do believe Snapfire has always been a very solid
Roger
support.
might go down. Oh, the movement speed for the Death Prophet is not enough as MKS, whatever they would like out of it. Oh, hang on that. Yeah, you might be in trouble bottom lane. Febby and Young Gods gonna drop the combo here to bring down the Sand King, although he can cut through the trees. They're relying on the right clicks now until Febby has his Nether Blast back and available as top lane. MKS is in trouble too. Beautiful micro from Bok. Blocks out the tree line as an avenue to escape as TNC find their 3rd kill of the game. Back to top as MKS low on health. His mana is still at a decent stage thanks to the Mystic Snake providing that, but Bok having the level 6 is trying to block him out with the Iron Branch, but it doesn't matter. The Wolf sneaks on through, and now he's going to sneak under the tower to try and get the life of Roger. They are starting to sneak to the jungle. Yowie playing with the invis, but Dire have the recognition of his position. Yowe's still going to look to pounce, but the Cold Feet holding him back, so MKS just survives on a slither of health, and Yowie will be penalized. Can the Helm Dome do enough damage through MKS cutting through the trees, ring around the rosy? No way!
To be able to come back to this game with such a strong performance is amazing.
Sillin is using Coil to get the rune, and he might still die off the back of this anyway. A phase shift at the last second, but it's not going to matter. We're just seeing the adaptation from them and not giving these free runes over to the Puck.
Oh, look at Bok. He might get punished here.
He should end up dying. That's a huge streak as well. If you can give the gold over to Xiao Yu, well, it's actually Xiao Bonbon to claim it, but the reinforcements, they've shown up to try and get some revenge as Yowie jumping on forward as Roger. Oh, they miss on the burrow. So Yowie can continue the chase, and Astral Step back and available. The death mark signals.
I think both sides are probably happy about this.
They're going for it. Okay. We'll make amends for the miss in the burrow prior from landing it onto 2. They're splitting their damage to the Pugna. Now to Yowie they go.
Like 3 hits away, and Youngguo's gonna go for it. Everyone else is behind though.
They are mass tipping down for the Tiny. That is a ambitious attempt. You're top of the net worth. And now you're giving it some net worth. Wait, okay, they get the kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Xiao Yu under a sentry. It's not the easiest kill with the hood. He's going to look to pop and try and escape from the Morning of Kisses, but now that Dire have shown up, they're going to land the coil, chasing back the wolf, but the coil will not last for long, so Bok should be able to escape Roger. Meanwhile, everyone else will be at the cost. And all they go is Yowie just runs straight into Exilern, but doesn't have the damage just by himself from the Void Spirit. Is going to be relying on any extra follow-up, but TNC a little bit hesitant to join Void Spirit in this attempt.
Tries to see Bok. Oh, Yowie going in. Any follow-up?
The cookie. It's still RSG playing behind Seal, and what a burrow, and now the coil follow as once again chaos raining down on TNC all throughout the team fights as RSG just continue their dominance with all of these abilities. Going to continue to see these team fights going RSG's way if they can utilize their abilities. Xiao Yu looking to counter initiate, but it's going to be Roger to die off first. Now they're on to Exilin as well. No way to get rid of the Orchid as finally Young God wants to show up to the party, and he's doing so at perfect fashion. But a buyback from Roger, looking to turn this one around, but the Death Prophet only has the Medusa to play with, and there's nothing that MKS can really do at this stage of the game. A dieback for Roger, and now the Medusa's next on the agenda. They're going to be cautious about all the split damage, but once they toss her up into the air and control her perfectly, they can kill her off and make it into a wipe.
P to the tier 3, and then smoke from there.
MKS is still hitting the tower. Use their first stun, Color with the follow-up as well, and all of a sudden Medusa surrounded in Radiant's jungle. Another kill onto the carry of RSG. Just the one call without it yet, but you do have one on the Lycan and the Tiny. It's running all the way around. They've got the sentry detection. They might be able to blow up the first life. BKB forced out, but he's going to stand his ground, tossing Yowie further into the middle. Yours providing space. RSG, do they feel like they can take the fight? Medusa's going to respawn in a couple of seconds. They're targeting Yowie down instead without any ultimate charges to retreat away. The Void Spirit will be penalized for this. Sillin, though, still doesn't have the coil. Oh, he's actually going to jump! Sillin's got the Lotus Sword, but a quick toss into the air. He's able to get the phase shift out to safety. Meanwhile, Tiny, he'll lose his first life. How do they set up for the second? Carlo kills off the Puck. Great scatter blast, and he's going to TP out as well, directly in their faces. But this is the Aegis advantage where they don't get a lot out of it. MKS, he's not ready for it. He doesn't have anyone behind him as well. Carlo pulling forward, it's off the mask with the scatter blast, but he's already used the Manta, so he can't get out of the silence. As Bok claims the kill, dominating now, but they're going to jump in off to the side. Onto the Void Spirit they go. Raspath a little bit too late to land, so Yowie still in trouble with the follow-up science, but the rest of TNC, they've had enough time to be able to show up to the area. Ja Bonbon chased down, tree toss under the tower. Now they're eyeing up Roger as well. However long till Puck gets level 25 as mid lane. Yeah, accept the silence onto 2. Carlos still gonna pop to the ice blast, but here we go. The wolf bite, and they have all the vision they would ever desire. Young God's gonna try and turn to deal with the Sand King instead. But a Stone Gaze setting up for the TP's out is what? They both make it, an excellent as well. Yo, wait, don't step up.
Not quite as slow.
Oh, yes,
He's got Aeon Disc, yeah. Yeah, he's got Aeon Disc. I don't think they get the kill. It's gonna look to drop the core, but now with the haste. They've revealed their positioning. Sealant, no! He taunted forward. He actually followed through with the illusory orb, so he's going to end up being penalized for that. Now Youngblood just charging the middle, but he's turned to stone. Keep in mind, he does have the ages advantage as MKS trying to stand his ground, but the Stone Gaze soon to expire. So this will give an opportunity for them to run into the middle. They've lost Bok off to the side, but Arashi, they're just playing right behind us. Up to the north, Silern.
What?
Silern? He bought back. He killed off some other heroes, but
Medusa was going in, hitting the nether ward, while the others are getting jumped on.
bottom lane, Youngblood is pouncing instantly on the higher gun. They've still got the ages to work with, but MKS's damage is really starting to stack up though. But they're unable to deal with Febby and Carlo. Gobble up, toss in the middle. Even Yolway's gonna look to buy back. They've dealt with the first light, but can they claim the second? Young God blinks out of the ice path. And now he's gonna jet straight onto the Medusa as A will join all his friends in the grave as Young God secures the fight off the back of a triple. And disadvantage. Febby's gonna be the first one they run into. Looks like taking away the Pugner. They won't have to drop the epicenter for this, but now you have to play around with the Medusa. You need to stand behind your carry. There's Young God with a wolf bite up, but they're able to reset. A 1-for-1 trade, but RSG, they need to evade this fight. They need to get out of the area. MKS tucking his tail. He's gonna turn. He's got Xiaoyu with the counter initiation. There's the Epi, the Boris Strike follow-up. Tiny doesn't have to be KP. He's gonna end up popping. Xiaoyu again, finding combo after combo. And now they're eyeing up Bok. Shapeshift soon to expire. MKS might be in trouble though. Yolway on the backline. Carlos got the follow-up. Oh, what a play. Yolway clips them out. Now Jean Bonbon dies as well. But the price will be likened to. Do they stick around? Roger wants the D-ward. Xiaoyu's baiting. Not again. A double burrow. They're going to be lacking the fourth though to kill off Yolway. So now Bok's going to attempt the TP in. Tiny's back alive as well. Young God instantly going to the Death Prophet and now with the Sand King. Oh, they're just trying to make too many cute plays on Arashi. And now your high ground soon to be under siege. Ooh, no coil. Gobble up in the backline. Yolway's got the start. And now they brought back on Xiaoyu as well. A burrow out. Tiny still playing with the potential BKB if needed. But MKS is actually charging outside the base to try and run into anyone. Where are this? Back inside the base they want to go. MKS just bought out for the butterfly too. Gobble up. Yolway runs straight to Roger. Gotta be cautious of the coil. They've caught up the Tiny. He's gonna look to break it as MKS tries to get in front, but a great Eel Scepter. Sending MKS up into the air. And now RSG, their backline continuing to be crumbled by Bok, have been used so they won't have a way to kite the Tiny now as they're gonna jump. Xiaoyu starts. Xiaoyu's got the follow-up to try and protect Carlo, but MKS doing so much damage. Young God's got to look to step in the fight, but without the wolf bite, we see how difficult it is for Tiny to enter. Roche is low. Young God's going to try and get information. Smoke's going to pop. They need the core to try and protect this. Roche is dropping, but Xiaoyu dropped faster. The Sand King is so important for the team fight, but the core breaking, setting up for the Ice Blast. MKS gets the Aegis, the cheese as well. Yolway jumps in. It might cost him his life, however, as Yolway ends up dropping along with the Tiny. How did RSG do this? Once again, a creative way to be able to turn this game back on its head as MKS finds 3. Now Silent buys back as well. They're going to run to Febby, and I tell you what, a tier 1 does nothing this game to protect you 42 minutes in. So Febby's going to dive, the 4th casualty. Now that RSG actually have a pep in their stride and thinking they can take a fight outside their base, it will make it much easier for TNC. As we might see this be the case, a gobble up in, Young got the start, Yowei with the follow-up, all eyes on the coil. That's how you can hold back this Wolf-bitten Lycan as Young God pounces, brings down the Ancient Apparition, but Dire, they have the outpost if they want to TP back to, but you're kiting the Wolf Bite. This is exactly what RSG need to do to the backline. They go, Xiao Yu once again is going to be brought down. It's a lot of their control initiation, the Young God jumping Roger, but look at Febby continuing to kite MKS, decrypt after decrypt, but now that it expires, they're on to Lycan. Got the Skadi, along with the ultimate, Young God's going to run into another support without the BKB, Young God's in trouble! They instantly turn their attention away towards the Tiny, and now with the coil out, what can the Void Spirit really do? It's going to be protected from the Aeon Disc. It jumped to the northern side, so he's able to make it out, cutting away the life of Xiao Bonbon. They want to fight. They want to start the fight, and they're going to do just that. Wolf bitten up, gobble up into the middle, but Roger, he can stand his ground, and Tiny's in trouble. A BKB used defensive, but the coil means he can't escape. Young God tries to get away to the western side, but the Arspice once again ticks him out. And now Dire, they have full control of the team fight. Yowei, one more ultimate. Boris Strike on forward. They're only clipping one. Now with the BKBs once again. As Xiao Yu, has he bitten off a little bit more than he can chew? Buybacks coming to the fray. The Tiny looking to rejoin, but MKS continuing to reign supreme. They've overstepping the boundary, but how can you bring him down as Xiao Yu? A Boris Strike putting his body on the line, charging up the epicenter is raiding. They committed into the middle, but maybe they can do it. Maybe they can turn this back on its head. As DOTA falling ever so low, they've got the damage to bring her down, but the cost, is it too grave? 3 are being killed off. One of the kisses early on from MKS, trying to burn all their damage with the backstab. Bok and Yowei on the right. Xiao Bonbon's under vision! Aeon Disc, Latifi get the ultimate off. They're going to toss the Medusa away from the team so he can't protect the supports. But the coil breaks and Bok, even though he's got BKB, he'll still be killed off. Such an awesome attempt from TNC.
Mega Creep's gonna come.
And the big thing is they don't have the Lycan as well for the Wolf Bite. Like, that's the huge thing. So now Young God's got to do it on himself. Maybe Carlo can toss him in the middle. They're starting the fight. Nice defensive gobble up. Silen's going to look to prevent them from getting back inside the base, and the Ice Blast on the entrance, landing onto 3. You may as well just dive. You're in a position where you can kill them off, take it to the throne. But RSG, they're holding back, patience from them, objective-based gaming. The backline. Carlo's going to jump in. They're targeting down Roger. A great follow-up. They also kill off Exilin in the meantime as well. Lycan's up with 20 seconds if they can stall this out, but they might not be able to. Roger's back in. Exilin as well with a throne exposed. MKS can stand his ground. One last ditch attempt. They need to continue to control MKS, but the throne, it's too weak. It's too low. All RSG need to do is continue right-clicking the base, and they'll do it. Once again. A 2-0 victory from the undefeated.
Yeah, stop wasting my time. Trying to get mine, get out the way. Move, trying to get paid. Bands on the way, just bought a safe. Ooh, crib with a gate. I need me a leg, but that's on the way. Ooh, yeah, that's on the way.